Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head into game number 5, but before we go there, let's talk a little bit NSQ. So the NSQ is the next season qualifiers. It will be it will be held on February 9th. That's when everything will start out. Additionally, there's been a lot of changes that have gone down in the NASL, especially for NASL Season 3. We have final expenses that will be all paid. We have a lot more flexible schedules so that the players can play their matches. And last but not least, we have money for every match. It'll be really, really cool. So it's like a show match for every single game. I don't hate it. The group stages are going to be awesome. So that being said, definitely tune into that. More information can be found at nasl.tv. Let's go ahead and head into the 5th game, though, between MacSed and Select.
Yeah, I'm your special co-caster for tonight, Andre. It's good to be here. You can follow me on Twitter @followgrubby and facebook.com/followgrubby. NASL, of course, is @NASLTV on Twitter. With that being said, going to the game, we've got Select against MacSed. Select is leading 3-1 score.
All right, Grubby, I ask it every single time we go into a map. What do you think of Daybreak?
Okay, big map. Possible to go Nexus first. MacSed is a creature of habit thus far. Doesn't do it. It's a big map. I think it's pretty well balanced. Basically, it depends what type of player you are. Personally, I like Daybreak, but there's also a lot of Terrans who like Daybreak. If you're the kind of guy who likes to go for a 2-base all-in, it still really is quite a fine map, because there's actually 2 ramps you can come from. As a Protoss, that is not a problem to have a big map, because you can warp in on the other side of the map. And this is something, of course, that they need to have in order to punish greedy kinds of play. For Terran, it's a little bit harder to do that kind of play. 1-base, 2-base play. I think this is probably the worst map to do a 1-1-1 all-in, simply because your opponent can veer around the other way of the middle side of the map. You can just go to your base and trade with something like Blink Stalkers. Also, the strategy that Select did last time in the previous game, double barracks aggression in order to try and shut down a quick 1-gate Nexus. Entombed Valley, that wasn't the best map for it. Daybreak, possibly even worse. So we're probably going to see a different opening from Select. And as I say it, of course, it wasn't that hard to predict, but because he didn't take a gas. But yeah, Select is going for a no-gas expansion.
Now, what do you think of this initial Zealot? Because we've seen MacSed do that over and over again. You were saying that you can do a 20 Nexus. A lot of times we do see Terrans actually make bunkers to stop some sort of 20 Nexus. But overall, what do you think about this Zealot? This first
the Zealot is there, in my opinion, for 3 reasons. 1, cheese-proof. Helps, because you used your gateway while you didn't have Cybernetics core yet. It helped you because you used all the training time. Reason 2, if your opponent makes an engineering bay and leaves it at 99% finish, so he can still cancel it, get nearly all his money back, he saved the receipt, he can put that down on your natural, and it will delay your Nexus very much. With the Zealot there, you can possibly stop that from ever even happening, or if it did happen, you can take it down in time for you to take your expansion with practically no delay at all. The third reason to make the Zealot is if you send it right away to the Terran base, and you either fight a little bit with his Marines or you poke up, take maybe a little bit of damage, and then you see whether they have an expansion or not. These are the reasons to have the Zealot. He's not using it like that though. Usually he just makes the Zealot and puts it at the Zelnaga Tower, which I do not find to be a very economical use of the Zealot. Neither do I hear from your groan, did you think that was a very economical use of the Stalker?
Sorry about that.
No, you're quite right, and I was talking too much to
no, not at all.
Pay proper attention to that Stalker, but taking even a little bit of damage to take down 2 Marines is not worth it, I think, because you can simply play purely on that shield. Losing it completely to 3 kind of surprise, not that big of a surprise, ambush Marines is not worth it at all.
Yeah, indeed. Now we do see, it looks like the makings of some sort of all-in 5 gateways under production, at least 3 right now. So we do have 2 sentries out in the field. We do have 2 gas, so this will be a standard 5, 6, 7 gate. Depending on how many gateways he actually makes, that will tell us, oh wait, actually the sentries need to be so careful. But depending how many,
Very
God,
bad force fields there, completely useless. Doesn't have Guardian Shield anymore, didn't trap any Marines, losing sentries, losing mining time. This is really, really bad. And he can't lose another sentry. So much mileage out of those Marines. This is just completely insane.
No,
it's
not
just
another
snowballing.
sentry. Oh, he's going to lose this one too. And this basically... I mean, look at this. These Marines have been able to get into the base, see everything that's going on. They're going to kill additional probes now. But this basically makes any sort of 5-gate pressure useless. You have no sentries for the energy. The buildup is completely gone. You know, your whole build has been spotted. So right now, I mean, where can MacSed go from here?
He has no energy, he has no sentries, everything got seen, he's low on worker count, equal to the opponent, which is very bad for Protoss. It seems like these 7 Marines just went ahead and I almost want to say won the game for Select. He has not been known so far this series to give away ridiculous leads and lose out. Now, also doing the right thing, 1 Marauder, 1 Marine, went train spotting, by that I mean pylon spotting. Found a probe there, and that is not a big risk. He can lose that and not feel too bad about it, but at the same time he knows there's no pylons near him. Very important information, because 5-gate wants to get a pylon down next to the opponent. MacSed is being forced to play this really, really carefully, gathering up, marshalling his forces right around somewhere in the middle of the map, and that's not going to come in time. We've got 4 SCVs waiting at double bunker. We've got Stimpack ready, and Medivac's not too far from here. Ill-fated attack from MacSed, if anything, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And you can see the effects of that attack actually doing its work. He had to make probes throughout that whole thing. He's up to 37. I think he has cut, but being only at, what was it, 33 before, you can't really utilize your chrono boost, so he's all the way up to 100 at that point. It makes his, obviously now he's able to chrono boost, so it makes his gateways a little bit more efficient, but all chrono boosts, if you're doing 5 gateways, they should be going towards all of them. If it's 6, then you can kind of use them for somewhere else. But here we go. The weak engagement has started. There goes the Guardian Shield. Force Shield's being placed in a very nice location. There goes the factory in the middle of everything. Hero Factory. Is it going to be enough, though? This second bunker, it does go down finally, but Stim finishes. +1 attack is researched, and this is going to be it. MacSed loses everything, and his sentries have no more energy.
And Select even bringing the mules there. Was it a very common mistake, as we see, because they don't do damage? Or was it manor mules? I think the former, unfortunately, we see that way too much from Terrans when they pull all their SCVs. They also bring their mules. No reason for it, but nonetheless completely irrelevant, since MacSed basically lost everything there. I do want to say MacSed was respecting the start that he had. He was respecting the situation that if he went for a long game, he would probably lose due to the big disadvantage he had. So not a wrong decision in and of itself, but because he was at such a big disadvantage, it had almost no chance of working. And now again, mostly sentry-based army against a big stimmed Medivac army.
Man.
Select beautifully maneuvering out of that and taking down all the sentries and letting the zealots run. Always taking down the ranged units from Protoss and then just picking up everything. I'm really liking Select's micro in this series, and MacSed likes it just as much and says GG.
GG. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. So MacSed will fall to Select by a score of 4-1. Grubby, what are your thoughts on that game in the series?
Well, I think Select is letting his opponent make the mistakes. He's playing pretty solid. He's doing standard plays and standard aggressions, but executing it beautifully, almost like a work of art. MacSed, on the other hand, is crumbling like an overdue chocolate cookie, which is very old and very crumbly, and he's crumbling just like that kind of cookie. Had the right type of units to take down the 7 Marine aggression, but lost a Stalker here, lost a couple of sentries there, and then it was just a complete snowball effect, which catapulted him into a very bad situation, which catapulted him into a very bad push. There's really not very much more to say about it.
Precisely. I mean, when you're doing a build like 5-gate, 6-gate, 7-gate aggression, you're basically starting behind because you're saying, I'm going to be really far behind in tech and upgrades, things like that. So you're going to have them, but hopefully I can just drill and power on all these units and then just overwhelm you. Obviously, he wasn't able to do that. He didn't have the energy, yada, yada, yada. And it led to Select's eventual win. So congratulations to him. He's going to be taking over the $400 prize purse. I think overall in the series, we can say that Select, I think, is just the overall more experienced player. We've seen him in a lot of different high-profile tournaments. MacSed, not as much, and I think it really showed. I mean, MacSed, he does have the fundamentals down. He has the basics down for sure. He understands what to get, when to get, a type deal, but it's been a common theme of him not utilizing it at the exact points in time throughout the game. And, you know, it's really unfortunate. I mean, that last game was really, really unfortunate for him, I think. I don't think he's ever experienced the audacity, it almost feels like, for 7-8 Marines to be pushing up all the way cross-map on Daybreak of all maps, and just overwhelming you. So really, really unfortunate for him. But any last thoughts on him?
Yeah, well, I just think Select proved that he was the better player. If he is the better player, in any event, played better today. If MacSed wants another chance to prove the opposite, it'll have to be a future match. But for today, Select reigns supreme and will be paid off handsomely for his efforts with a nice $400 prize purse. And we'll probably live to see MacSed play another day.
Yep.
And looking forward to any kinds of improvements that he may be going through. But for now, Select destroyed in 4-1.
Yep, so congratulations, and that's going to do it. So I want to thank the people that made this possible. It's AZO Monitors. They're our monitor supplier of the NASL. Also want to thank iBuyPower. You can see, of course, the iBuyPower machines on the side. Those are the ones that have been powering the NASL, so thank you to iBuyPower. Also, we want to thank Kingston HyperX. We want to thank Cooler Master, and last but not least, we want to thank Beyond Gaming. All of them have made us possible. But a special thanks goes out to my co-caster, Grubby. Grubby, thanks so much for casting. It was a pleasure, man.
Thank you very much for having me. Really enjoyed myself.
So where can people go to find you? I know you stream. You're very active with your social media. Please go ahead and pimp all that out.
Thanks. Great chance for me to do just that. You can follow me for news on twitter.com/followgrubby, facebook.com/followgrubby, and I also have a live stream going on where I'm very regularly playing StarCraft 2 on Twitch TV. They're also one of my partners. I'm a solo player and partnered with them for the stream, and the URL for that is twitch.tv/followgrubby. You can subscribe to it or follow it to get updates of when I'm live. And you can choose to go with the ad-supported or the non-ad-supported, but subscription version. Hope to see you there very soon. Thanks for listening to this stream of myself and Gretorp. If you liked it, follow us all, and you'll be getting more news of when awesome stuff is going down in the world of esports from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Grubby. And as he said, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. We are NASL TV on both of them. Facebook.com/NASL TV, Twitter.com/NASL TV. You can also follow me on Twitter. I'm Twitter.com/Gretorp. Very easy. And I'm also on Facebook. Same thing, Gretorp. And I think that's going to wrap things up. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, another exciting week of NASTL will be coming up along with the Sunday Show Match Series. I do want to mention for the last and final time the NSQ that will be coming up February 9th. We're going to see a ton of great players enter. Definitely check that out. But from everybody here at the studio, the NASL studio, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Take it easy.